People are struggling to cope after a devastating apartment fire that destroyed more than a dozen units near the Galleria. And it could be days before they can see what belongings they'll be able to salvage. Hello, I'm LUCIA.
And I'm Tom Abrams. That fire ended up going 3 alarms late last night off Augusta near Sugar Hill. Eyewitness News reporter ANDREA LUCIA was there today as victims came back to survey the damage, and she found out what's happening next. She's live tonight. ANDREA?
Well, Tom, the fire started in this home behind me. I talked to the gentleman who lives there. He said he was grilling on the patio some 4 hours before the fire. He doesn't believe there's any connection, but right now firefighters believe that it's the most likely cause. Fluffy! KYLA Martin knows she's lost her home, but if she could just find her 2 cats, she says she'll be okay.
I don't have any children. And my husband died 2 years ago. They were like our children, and they're everything to me. They're my babies.
Just before 11 o'clock Saturday night, neighbors at the Woods at Augusta condos smelled smoke and found fire had overtaken one home.
The whole street was lit up with red.
But they told us firefighters seemed to have a handle on the situation.
It looked like the firefighters had contained it to the one unit that was burning, but just a few minutes later, it's just spread down the row of condos. Firefighters say they lost control of the blaze when flames reached attic space shared by the entire building.
I stood and I watched it burn.
Angie Serratos had already evacuated and looked back to see her own home on fire.
I was like, oh, and I started to cry.
In the end, 16 units were either destroyed or seriously damaged. This morning, most owners were still too shaken to talk, including one man who told us he purchased his condo just 2 weeks ago and still didn't have insurance.
They're just walking around in shock. They're just lost, and my heart goes out to them.
Martin says she is one of the lucky ones who has a place to go and has hope of salvaging some of her belongings. If only she knew her little ones were safe.
I'm sure they're crazy, scared somewhere, just hiding.
Fluffy! Well, firefighters were here throughout the day helping people get a hold of medications and other emergency items they needed out of here. Homeowners say it's going to be at least 3 days before they themselves can get a look inside, but already they tell me they know that there's too much damage to save this building. The plan right now, they say, is to rebuild within a year. Reporting live here in Houston, ANDREA LUCIA, 13 Eyewitness News.
And the Red Cross is helping out some of those fire victims, though others say they are staying with friends and family after the blaze.